You're listening to the Gabe Molina Podcast.
What events are y'all gonna have at Metal Mayhem?
We're having that sandbag throw, the Trump log, the 3 different logs you can choose. So a lighter, middle, and then the heaviest weight. We have that sandbag, like the Husafeld carry, but it's a sandbag Husafeld carry for time. We have the sled drag, sled pull.
Are y'all still using that long ass rope?
Hell yeah, but we got a bigger one now. So, at least it's a longer one and it's thicker.
Okay.
That shit sucks,
what is it, 50
bro.
feet?
Nah, it's gonna be like 80.
Holy crap.
That shit sucks, bro.
I saw Austin using it the other day.
Yeah.
I guess doing a demo, and that's a long.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Freaking rope.
It's like
what's the diameter on it?
I don't even know, honestly. But yeah, me and Tim used it the first day, and bro, my forearms were fucked for like 2 days. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I feel like that's gonna be the game changer as far as like, because at the beginning it was doable. You know what I'm saying? But girls, with the smaller hands or just in general.
So they're pulling the 80 footer too?
Yeah, they gotta pull it too.
Hey man, equality.
I know, right? Shit, that's what they want. Right? Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, Ricky, what's happening, brother?
How you doing, Uncle Gabe?
Tim always killed me when he called me Uncle Gabe. I'm like, there's so many hot chicks here, man. How you calling me Uncle Gabe and putting 15 skinny ass plates on the bar for overhead press?
Oh yeah, right.
So you're killing my ego, man.
For real.
Well, I appreciate you coming out, man.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you inviting me.
One thing that I really enjoy watching is your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of folks in heavy metal that do some cool shit. But yours is always wild, man. I saw you, I think the last one I saw, you had like little sleds on your feet. And then you had a plate strapped to your back. Well, I mean, with a rope on a sled. And you were using your hands to walk.
Oh, gator crawls.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So where do you come up with this stuff, man?
Honestly, I'm just bored. Majority of the time, I'm just bored.
Are you just being creative?
And I'm there at the gym all day. So it's like, I got to release it. But yeah, people always ask me, bro, like, why do you train like that, this and that? So majority of the time, it's Tim. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be there and he'll be there. And I'm like, hey, how do you feel about this? Have you done gator? It's literally started like this. Have you done gator crawls? He's like, yeah. We started talking about it. And then he said, we used to do them weighted back at the old gym.
Oh, really?
So then I was like, all right, well, how much did y'all used to do? And it talks like that. And then I always try to updo them. You know what I mean? So then I just did it. But it feels, I just did it. So I recorded it. And there's a lot of variations. You don't have to do it with the weight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just did it in that variation. I recorded it and I just put it on. So not because I'm doing it, it's for the Instagram and shit like that, but it's just more like, bro, this is what I do,
Well, I mean, it's creative, and I think that's part of, coming from a fat out of shape guy, I think that's part of what makes it interesting is when you can do variations and keep it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your, back in the day when I was a kid, you had a handful of workouts and everybody did the same thing, and it was, you saw what was done on TV or in magazines, and you just kind of followed suit, but when you have availability to something like social media where you can kind of access people directly, it's cool to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get to see some wild shit, so which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You always been a fitness guy, or you were talking earlier that you were into martial arts when you were younger?
For the most part, yeah. Like growing up, I first started with martial arts. I just remember, my dad put on Bruce Lee videos. I started watching that. Bloodsport, all that.
Yeah.
But I would we used to.
That was good stuff.
Hell yeah, bro. We used to record it. I don't remember how they used to do it, but they would put a VHS in. Oh,
you're making me sound old because I know exactly how they recorded it.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. We used to have they would just be blank, cassette, and we would watch it, and I'd be like, man. So we just record it with the commercials and everything, and I just was really into it. And they put me in martial arts. And then I stayed in it till I was in 6th grade, became a black belt.
What kind of martial arts were you doing?
It was called, I think Kunjun, so it was like some type of Korean martial art.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just somewhere local here. I don't know how my parents found it.
Was it a heavy kicking or heavy punching? Or
both, okay. Honestly, yeah. It wasn't...
Because there's one Isn't there one Korean martial arts that's heavy kicking? I thought it was.
I don't even know, honestly.
Maybe I'm just making shit up. But
maybe like a Muay Thai?
Like
kickboxing?
There's Muay Thai, but there was because the Olympics have it, and it's a lot of freaking kicking.
Like karate then. I think that's what you're talking about.
Maybe it is karate.
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
Something like that. But they put me in that, and then...
Were you pretty competitive, pretty good?
Yeah, I just loved it already, you know what I mean? So like I would watch those Bruce Lee videos, and I would run to my room, and then I would change and try to reenact the whole video. I'm serious.
Hey, now you're the brother of sisters, man. Do you ever whoop up on them a little bit when you were a kid?
No, my sisters used to whoop on me.
Are they mean?
Yeah, Laura. You met Laura before, right?
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister, Laura.
She's a sweetheart, man.
Nah, man, she's the crazy one.
She's
for
hiding
sure.
it.
You don't even know, man.
I could see Michelle putting a whooping on you because she's pretty tough, and Michelle's kind of wild. The first time I ever saw Laura, I didn't realize she would look exactly like Michelle.
Yeah, they look like twins.
Oh, I pulled up when Heavy Metal was over off of Starcrest, and I got out of the truck. Well, I pulled up and I was checking my phone or something, and she walks by. And I thought it was Michelle. So I saw her and I was like, hey. And she walked right by the truck and she kind of looked at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I texted Nina. I said, dude, Michelle's an asshole. And Nina's like, she probably just didn't recognize you in the truck. And I was like, no. I said, I made eye contact with her.
Bro, that happens all the time.
I went inside and Michelle was inside. And it fucking blew my mind. And I was like, who just left? She's like, that's my sister. We look alike. I was like, okay.
So Laura, she's been coming to the gym like maybe once a week. She brings my nephew and he comes with his friends and they start working out. But she'll be at the front desk chilling, you know.
Yeah.
And, people come in and they're like, hey, and my sister's just like, hey. But they're like, hey, what? Hold on, bro. Why she, is Michelle in a bad mood or something? And I was like, no, that's Laura. That's my other sister, bro. Like,
she needs a name tag, man.
I know. They legit. They look like twins, man.
So, outside of martial arts, did you get into any other kind of martial arts, or because were you training and working out prior to heavy metal, or did it just kind of really heavy metal help it take off?
I was in martial arts till I was in 6th grade. When I went to Kruger, I started going to Kruger Middle School, and they wanted me to actually go to California to train with like one of the head instructors was moving to California, and they were like talking to my parents, and they wanted me to go too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I was just embarrassed.
Why?
I don't know.
You scared or embarrassed?
No, I was just embarrassed of being in martial arts. Like when I went to Kruger, my mom we had the van, bro. We had the little sticker with my name, martial arts, and people would make fun of me. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Out of the neighborhood or just in?
I'm not really the neighborhood because they knew, bro. That was just what I was doing. But when I went to school, it was kind of like, oh, you're in martial arts, Well, let's fight, or just dumb shit like that.
Really? So
Yeah. And I was just like embarrassed because I was like, bro, I don't want to do that at all. You know what I mean? So
Did
I
you
just
ever
got
fight?
A couple of times, but not like not like after school type shit. It was just more like we'd play fight, and they'd be like, okay, well you can't kick, or they would just So I was like, well, I don't know how to do anything else but that. You know what I mean? Like so. But I just got into basketball. I played every sport, honestly, every year, whatever the season was.
That's cool.
But then leading to heavy metal, I didn't meet Tim until I was like maybe a junior or senior. I came home from school. We just talked about this shit the other day.
Oh, really?
he swore, man, he loves telling this story, bro. I remember I came home from school. I walked into my house and I looked, and he was just sitting on our kitchen table. And I was like, what? Who the hell is this? So I walked in my room. I was with like, a couple of my homeboys were in there. And so we just started talking to him. He's just, my name's Tim. I'm dating your sister. You already know how he is, bro. Yeah. So then that was just
Hey, was he trying to be hard?
Nah, he says I was trying to be hard, but I was just, bro, who the hell is this in my kitchen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just started like that. But I didn't really know him too much. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of like whenever he was at the house, because my sister was still kind of like in and out, visiting and stuff. So I didn't really get to know him. Shit, I don't even know. It just kind of like gradually just, I would go to my sister would take me to the house and we'll work out or something. But I was already going to Golds and getting into fitness, I guess, like around 18 or 19.
Okay. So you're still young.
Yeah.
That's cool. And so I guess Tim had gone to the J and they started heavy metal. Did you immediately start going there in the beginning, or did it take you a little bit to come around?
It took me a little bit,
Okay.
just because I was working downtown, so I was doing marketing for like, it was like a resort company.
Okay.
So my time was, I mean, bro, I was working Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'd imagine that's the weekends are busy for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So I never had weekends off, but Michelle and Tim were just barely starting. So I would come around as much as I could, but I don't know. I was just doing my own thing, really. And I was still going to goals, but I was still working out. And I would pop in once in a while and work out, but I wasn't really serious about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like in the beginning, I don't know. It was just a weird thing with me and Tim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. I swear.
Well, you know, it's funny because it's funny because like with dudes, you know, not to sound weird, but you know, you get a couple of alpha guys, right? You're not beta, you're alphas. And to come home and see a strange dude in your house, you know, at your kitchen table.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sure your parents had gone to their room or some, you know, I'm sure he was the only one there because like at my house, when somebody new would come to the house, my mom and dad would go to their bedroom, you know. So immediately it's like, okay, they're uncomfortable because somebody new's in the house. My dad likes to sit around in his underwear, right? So, I mean, I'm sure that kind of happened. We're in the sense that Tim's probably there and he's changing the dynamic of what you typically come home to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a little bit of there's got to be a little bit of, hey, man, what are you doing here?
Nah, I don't know. It wasn't even on that aspect. I think it was just really, bro, I really don't know. Yeah. Tim is Tim, bro. So it's like, you know, and I guess I was just trying to be like, you know, prove myself to him. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just how it is. I just knew what, you know, I love to work out already. I know he was, you know, built in the beginning of building this huge brand. You know what I mean? That's heavy metal now. But we didn't know each other enough. So it was like, you know, I'd come around, I'd work out. You know, my sister would be like, well, can you help clean? And I was just like, well, I got things to do. You know what I'm saying? I just wasn't involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is what it is. I just wasn't involved. I was you know, doing my own thing. I had my own job. I had my own kind of life going. And so it was when I quit all that and, you know, kind of gravitated a little bit more is when, you know, I started to get to know Tim a lot better and how his mind works, you know what I'm saying? What he's thinking about, what he wants to do with all this. Because I had no idea. Like, you know, in the beginning, I just thought, you know, he was just going to train people, you know what I mean? Until I really started going and being involved.
Well, you know, he's kind of a real hyper-focused kind of guy. And I think, like, I've got a bunch of friends that are that way, you know, that only have enough bandwidth to do so many things because they're doing them really well. So that's where the majority of their thought process goes, their time goes, they're focused on those things. And when you have people like that are super focused on something specifically, they kind of come off standoffish, maybe like a little bit distant, you know, not easy to open up and say, hey, you know, when I walk into a place, everybody I see, I want to hug and say hi to, and hey, what's up? You know, Tim's a little more reserved, and there's a lot of people like that. You know, I got a lot of buddies like that. So, so now that you've been training, how long have you been training?
Training people or myself?
No,
training people? Shit, I would say maybe like 4 years.
4 years?
4 or 5 years, yeah.
Are you open to all types of people for training? Because I see you training a lot. The people that I've seen you train, they're not your high performance people. The ones that I've seen, they're people trying to get healthy for their, you know, health purposes. You know, and so to me, that's interesting to me because I'm not a high performer, man. You know, I'm the type of guy that's just looking for some movement exercises, you know, and a lot of my stalking you guys on the internet is just trying to pick up little tools, right? You know, I was telling you earlier, I've got some lower back issues, and there's things that I just see you guys doing things, and I try and apply them to what I do, whether I'm at work or at home. What was her name? Jody Kennedy. I saw her doing a stretch the other day, and now I do it all the time. Yeah. You know, and so there's a lot of things that I see you training people on that are just super basic that I try and apply to my house too, you know, or at home or whatever. But how many people are you currently training? And I've even I think you've got a lady in a wheelchair, don't you?
Yeah, she's new. Her name's Claire.
Yeah. So how how much adaptiveness do you have to put into training, not just her, but I guess people in general? Because for me, Tim's got that list of workouts that he sends out,
Yeah.
And I go through them and I'm like, I can't even bend right now. My lower back's tight, to get up off the ground. I went to, one of them was a bench press. So I laid on the ground to do some bench pressing.
Like a floor press?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, man, it was just so bad on my back. So a lot of what he sends us, I've got to modify the shit out of it. So how difficult is that? And how often do you have to do that for folks to get them to modify certain exercises for them?
I don't know, bro. It really, like for you just talking about yourself, I get more excited for guys like you than some dude that's a high level athlete, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's I can see, I'm gonna be able to see the process and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like I just, I guess it ranges from, I have let's see, like, Becky, you've met Becky, right?
I think so.
She's a head neurologist of Texas.
Oh, yeah. I'm following her.
So, I train somebody like her where, her day is fully consumed of, whatever the hell she's doing, in the medical center.
Yeah.
And then she comes in and she's ready to do whatever I tell her to do. She can compete. She can do it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we have, a girl like Claire, which is new, where she's extremely limited, and that's my first time ever training somebody in the wheelchair. It's
gotta be exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. So, I even told her in the beginning, hey, listen, this is my first time, you know what I'm saying? So the first steps, bro, was really kind of getting to know each other, you know what I'm saying? And what her limitations are, what she's wanting out of it, and we just kind of go from there. And it's like a day-to-day, gradual thing. We just learn. So it's been about a month since I've been training with her, bro, and it's crazy. Like, and it's not even me doing shit that's, out of the ordinary. It's just like, you want to try this today? Let's see if this works. How do you feel about this? How did this feel? You know what I mean? It's just communication, and then we just go from there.
So that's got to be exciting because I would imagine you're learning from her things, ways to adapt.
Yeah.
So that's got to be pretty exciting too.
Exactly.
I saw one thing that I thought was impressive also was, and it's funny because I always tell people always come back to the heavy metal talk because I think it's a great gym for one, and two, it's so interesting to see how you have your high performers there. You got guys like you that can fucking do wild shit, but there's still things in that gym that you can modify so someone in a wheelchair can still get their workout. So it's not like when you walk in there, and Tim had mentioned it before a while back, how, he tried to get equipment that's versatile. And it literally is your guy's imagination that fucking makes all that stuff work.
Yeah, so like how I got Claire, what's crazy is I was training a family of 6 one day. It was like on a Saturday. And this dude from Cali comes like once every other month, bro. But so Claire's a professor at UTSA.
Okay.
And they're, friends. So one day he had saw me train a family, and one of the people that I was training, she was in a wheelchair, an older woman. And she has what is it called? I can't even think of the word, but it's like her limbs, they either work or they don't sometimes.
Is it? No, I'm just pulling this out of my ass because my sister has it. But is it like similar to like rheumatoid arthritis? Because there's times where she can't move her arms.
Yes, something along those lines. But she can get out of the chair and walk, and so I had to kind of do like a lot of modifications, and train the family at the same time, make sure everybody's engaged. So then he saw that, and he had asked me, he's like, hey, I saw you train, that woman in a wheelchair. I have a friend, this and that. I think she really wants to get in the gym, but she's just, super intimidated. It's a whole different atmosphere. And really, bro, that's the main thing, is that like people are afraid of the gym.
Yeah.
And it's not even just, they really want to do it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just taking that step in, and that atmosphere can be overwhelming, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, bro, I would love to help. I had no idea what her capabilities were, nothing. So she came in, and we just went from there. Like I had no idea what I was going to do, honestly. Like I didn't have nothing down, because I was just like, bro, I got to kind of see how she just moves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we just went from day one. She loved it. She felt great. She felt safe. She felt secure, you know what I'm saying? Being around people.
Yeah.
And it was just that. So
you were talking earlier about movement and the importance of movement. Mm-hmm. We're talking about when people stop moving, things start deteriorating and you know, atrophy and things of that nature. What are some? I'm gonna try and get some free information out of you while you're here, but you know, for your novice person, your regular person that the gym is always a place that you need to go. Mm-hmm. But what are some things that you could recommend for people doing at home or at the office? You know, I told you how I'd taken a kettlebell and some resistance bands, and I try and do some modification to them. And I literally, we were talking about work earlier, right, and how kind of weird it is right now. So I literally, and this is so stupid because this is how my mind works, but I literally treat my cubicle like a prison cell. And like it's 6x8, you know. And so I got it's funny because now I have my little workout stuff. I stay within that. I'm trying to be more diligent in drinking water because I'm constantly dehydrated.
Bro, that's key. Yeah.
I'm diabetic, so I pee all the time. You know, and so for somebody like me, we went to a football game last night, and if I'm not in air condition blowing on me, I'm sweating.
Oh, you're sweating.
You know?
Yeah.
And so yesterday I was sweating like crazy. And in addition to the constant going to the bathroom to pee, you know, I don't drink enough water. And I started getting cramps in my quads and my rib cage.
You're sweating out all that sodium.
Yeah, it's okay. So that's the problem. I need to just keep rehydrating. What's the difference between hydrating with water and something like Gatorade? Is there
just that sugar?
Is there a lot of sugar in Gatorade?
We've been on that. You heard of that liquid IV?
Yes. Is that yes? I think
so you can get them like at Costco.
And that's just got salt in it, right? Or sodium?
Yeah. But it's also like they have like sugar-free ones. But bro, we'll put like 2 of those little packets in just a whole gallon. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, just like you said, like I sweat a lot, bro. We're in the gym all day. Like I'm sweating all day. Cramps are like inevitable, bro. You're gonna catch a cramp. Yeah. So it's like you kind of have to like, you know, balance whatever you're gonna be sweating out. You got to be still putting it back in your body for the most part. But there's a whole bunch of different brands, bro. But the one I'm familiar with is just that liquid IV or like Element or something like that too. But to me, I feel like those help out a lot because I can definitely tell if I'm dehydrated. You know, my body's just not functioning right. I kind of get a headache. So I'll be like, all right, I'm behind on my water. Like that's why, you know. That's just the best way to gauge what I'm drinking. You know what I'm saying? I can be drinking water bottles all day, but I'll miscalculate and you know.
So how much you drinking? About a gallon a day, or how?
Probably a gallon and a half.
Oh, really?
Maybe 2. It really just depends.
Yeah, you see, I'm terrible at that because like I'll drink water, and I'm always assuming I'm drinking water, I'm getting plenty, and it's not.
It's not.
You know, and it's funny because like I'm an extreme. I get so crampy at times where. If it's in my rib cage, it's fucking wrap. And a lot of that happens like when I get a sugar low, I'll get this weird little crampy. But I also I get so dehydrated, I start cramping in my hands. And I work at a computer, right? So I'm typing and
Shit will freeze up.
It starts locking up, or these fingers will go side. It's ridiculous. But back to some simple workouts that somebody can do during the day is something like body squats or what kind of things?
I mean, literally what you just said. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody's just sitting down for the most part. I mean, it just depends on your job, but you know, I would say at least 75% of people are sitting down at work.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main issue, you know what I mean? Even me driving here, like when I got out, the first thing I did was like stretch, did a couple of like high knees cuz my hips get tight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not just you, bro, it's all of us, you know what I mean? So just like you maybe setting a timer, you know, maybe every 35 minutes depending on your job, you know, if it's a lot where you have to be, you know, you got to try to do something, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? But maybe a timer, do some air squats like you said, just stationary high knees, loosen up your hips, stretching, getting outside for a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Getting some sun. Mm-hmm. I noticed y'all were doing that vitamin D thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you always see Ricky naked,
bro,
go check his Instagram on vitamin D days.
People are crazy, bro. That's what's bullshit is like it ain't even like that, and someone's gonna make it. Austin, bro, everybody's gonna talk shit. That's what's so funny, bro.
Hey, you know what it is, man? We're jealous.
Nah, bro. Sometimes I just be doing it on purpose because I like pissing people out, bro. I don't give a fuck. For real.
Yeah, but you know what? It's important to get vitamin D. You know, that's another thing. We're so geared toward. Just in general,
comfortability, bro. That's just what it is.
Air conditioned, being inside, sedentary jobs. You know, there's still plenty of manual labor jobs out there that keep people active.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's moving towards sitting at a desk,
like zombie work, yeah.
right? And so it's like, it's so, and I'm guilty of it too. We talked about it a little bit earlier, how, I was hyper focused on a career, and that's where all my time went. And so it's like I told, I think I was talking to Renee the other day, it's like I felt like I'm mentally tired, so I'm physically going to rest, and that's always been a bad combination.
Yeah.
And so as I've gotten older and I realize how much, for one, how critical your health is, also how much people need me to be physically available to them at times, because we're all getting older and my parents need me more than what they probably did years ago. So all this is kind of like pushed me to move more, to be more active, to focus more on, the recovery type things, because I'm not as young and capable as I was. I've always been a fat kid, right? I was always a fat dude, and you're gonna laugh your ass off, but I'll give you my sister's cell phone number. You can call her. There was a time in my life that I would jump into my underwear. Now, don't ask me how she saw me jump. I had another pair of underwear on, but I'd have boxers, and I would be flat-footed, and I'd jump up, and I'd fucking put them on. And I did that for years, man, and that was always my gauge. I was like, I'm fat, but I can still jump in my underwear, And then slowly it was like, I can't do that. Now, I got an ankle pain. I got my right heel started to hurt. My calves are tighter. All of a sudden you start adjusting to little pains, and then, now my hip hurts, and now my back hurts because I'm limping on one side or the other. And it all comes back to fucking moving.
Yeah.
Fucking moving, having water. One person that I like following also is Aja. She's always like, drink your water, drink your water. And it's so silly because, yes, you got to drink your water. But we need people like you. We need people like her to say, hey, don't forget to drink your fucking water. Don't forget to move today. These are some things that I do. And when you post those things, people always had this weird little mentality toward posting. It was like, hey, somebody's showing off. Somebody's flexing on everybody. And to me, I never really did that, but even more so now that I post fucking everything, I'm like, you know what? That's good for people. Because like Jody's little resistance band stretch the other day, I've messaged her.
Someone's going to catch on to it.
I said, I do that every day now.
And
it helps stretch out my lower back so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, all this is, to me, a lot of people are like, well, they're doing it for clicks. To me, it's information, man. If you're looking at it with the correct vision, you're getting the information out of it. You're not paying attention to the other stuff. Yeah, we might hack on each other, or we might say something crazy, or make fun of what somebody's doing, or fucking Ricky's got no shirt on again today. I love it. Nina loves it. Don't get me wrong, Nina loves that shit.
Bro, yeah.
She ain't seeing that shit at the house.
What's up, bro? Yeah. No, for sure. Like even with the social media thing, bro, I'm still not really good at it. I really don't even like. I need to get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Like posting more and like being a little bit more present with that shit. So because it's my job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just, it's never been. I'm more of a face to face person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you know me, bro, I'm like this every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's times where I'm like, all right, let me post this. You know what I'm saying? But even like with Aja's a great. Bro, she's just a good energy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people gravitate towards that, you know what I'm saying? But she's better at social media than I am. So, there's times where I watch her and I'm like, fuck, man, I need to be doing that shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And other people may think, not even that it's, corny or nothing. It's just, like you said, like when you post stuff, I'll like it because it's funny, you know what I mean? Or you send me things.
I'm a complete idiot, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It just depends on what's it for. Like if it's informational, I'm gonna like it. If it's something that I feel like it's just whatever you're into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things that I post is not gonna be for someone that's just already on some hating shit or in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Like I'd like to post things because, bro, this is just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want people to know, like, hey, I'm not just kind of like preaching it, you know what I'm saying? I'm also doing it myself, you know what I'm saying? So there's some times where I do post, a gallon of my, take a picture of my water, or take a picture of, some fruit, or, something healthy, you know what I mean? Like here and there, just to let them know, like, hey, I'm still doing it. I'm just not posting it, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm not the only one that has to be doing this, because I feel like everybody does. I will throughout the day scroll through social media, and like we have a real short attention span, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because like we have a short attention span, but I also feel like I'm getting to the point where I can quickly identify things that I want to give attention to and things that I don't want to give attention to, right? And so when I'm scrolling through things or I'm going through stories or whatever I'm doing, you know, I see things and I'll see you getting sun. I'll literally go outside and I'll go get some sun, you know, because I know that I work in an office. And these are like just little, even though it's a post or it might be a 3-minute video or something, I'm seeing it and it's like, I will admit, majority of things, I'm like, that's funny. That's hilarious. Man, I wish I thought of that. And then I'll skim through and then I'm like, fuck, I need to drink water. I need to go outside and get some sun. You know, and these are just little reminders. And it's funny because it takes maybe 5 minutes to put a post up or even 10, depending on what you're doing, a video.
That's true, bro.
But it's also, to me, it's kind of like networking. Like they call it social networking, right? But that's literally what it is. You know, back in the day, you'd send emails, you make phone calls, you might go have a dinner with somebody, you might go to a bar. You know, this is a way to network with just tons of people. And the more information out there, the better. You know, because you're inspiring people to do things. You're giving them ideas of how to do it. You know, there's a lot of people that like to put stuff out there that's inspirational, but it's like, it's also important that if you're going to do that, to give people the tools to go, okay, I really want to do some of these things, but I don't understand how, or I don't know what's going to help me. You know, so that's important.
Yeah, like I guess I don't even know how to say it. It's just, bro, like even like my, you know, posting clients, bro, I need to get better at that. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I'll record it, but I'm so caught up in the moment, bro. Like I'll forget to post it. But you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, oh shit, you know, great deadlift, and then we'll talk about it. And I recorded it, but I'm like, damn, I forgot to post. You know, I forget to post it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, bro, but the work's still being done. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's people from, you know, 5 a.m. till probably like 8:30 at night. You know what I'm saying?
You're at the gym a long freaking time. How long do you train clients? Do you start that early in the morning?
Yeah. I recently picked up this guy. His name's Eric. I've trained him before. He's a great dude. But he comes in like 5:45 Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday. Man. Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. Like I'm thankful for him. I tell him every time because I'm like, you know what, bro? Like I should be getting up earlier to start my day. You know what I'm saying? And so I get there at the gym. He's already there before me. He's already warmed up. We'll go on a run, you know, and he's just a really uplifting dude. So I'm extremely thankful for him because I love to start my day like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then my last client's like 7:30 or so.
Okay.
But I'll typically train the morning. I have a break. I'll eat, and then I work out myself, and then wait for my evening clients and all that.
How much sleep are you getting? What time are you going to bed?
Shit. Just depends.
Do you stay up late or are you?
Nah, probably 11:30. Okay. I'm on the couch or I'm in my room by like 11:30. Like I just make myself because, yeah, bro, I need to sleep. Yeah, so
you get maybe, I don't know, 5-6 hours.
Yeah, if I'm really tired, bro, I'll fall asleep like at 10. You know what I'm saying? But I'll start to deteriorate. I'll feel my body. Like if I don't sleep good for 2 days, that third day I'll just know I'm like, fuck. I'm not even going to work out today. I'm not doing nothing. As soon as I get home, I'm going to sleep.
So, like, somebody like me where I went and I knew you were coming and I know you're a super healthy guy. So I picked up Chick-fil-A for breakfast, right? And because to me, it was like, oh, that's better than Whataburger. And
I had Whataburger last night.
Did you really? So I was going to ask you, what I see you doing the meal prep thing. What are you eating as far as like your when you're eating healthy? Is it heavy protein? I think I've seen some rice in some of your stuff. But how many calories are you taking in and all that?
Honestly, bro, I don't know any of that shit. Okay. I really just eat.
Well, shit, you go so long, you're probably burning it off pretty quick.
I just know what I feel good. You know what I mean? I would say I probably eat maybe 75% clean. Okay. Maybe depending on, you know, some days. I mean, some weeks I'll say even more. It just depends. It really just depends. But
okay,
ground beef, white rice, vegetables. That's it. Potatoes, fruit.
What is it that you eat that you think you get the most benefit out of? Meat protein.
Yeah, red meat for sure.
Is there anything that you stay away from as far as protein goes? Or is it like, you know, like you can go buy lean ground beef, but or you can get regular ground beef that probably has more fat in it. Do you focus on those kinds of things, or are you just burning so much that it's kind of whatever?
Like we were talking about it the other day. I was like, Shit, bro, because I'm in the gym all day. So it's like, and I'm picking up stuff, loading things up, sweating, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, bro, my first 2 meals, I feel like just don't even do shit. Like, I think they just get me to my workout or help me get through my workout.
Well, you're probably burning a ton of calories in your
Well, that's
sleep,
what I'm
too.
saying. Yeah, like I feel like, bro, I have to just eat. Otherwise, I'd be even skinnier than I am now.
Yeah.
Like I'm eating to maintain this weight. I would have to eat a lot more, and I eat a lot for what I think already. But yeah, like it's more about just getting me through the day. That's what I consider eating for myself, at least. You know what I mean? I don't really count my calories, none of that. I know I can feel when I don't eat enough. You know what I mean? Or calorie deficit, whichever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
I can feel, for the most part, I just go off of how I feel. If my energy's low, I need to eat something. I'll go to the HEB. Luckily, it's right down the street, so I'm there all the time, bro. Like every day. So I'm either grabbing fruit or Tim's going to HEB. Hey, bro, you need anything? I'm like, yeah, grab me fruit. So I feel like for the most part, fruit helps out a lot.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do carbs, you know what I mean?
I saw a post, and again, going back to fucking somebody posting something. I saw a post a while back, and it said something to the effect of, "You can't outwork a bad diet." And I thought, fuck.
I don't know, bro. It's like
You're doing it, obviously.
yeah, but I mean, bro, I'm still eating. Like last night, I was starving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's times. There was this dude I follow on YouTube. I forgot his name, but we were and he's like a hybrid athlete, whatever you want to call it. He does marathons, he does swimming, he does it all.
Mm-hmm.
And he even says it himself, like, bro, you'd be a fool if you think that we only eat clean. You know what I'm saying? Because there's times, bro, where there'd be a serious session, training session, where it's 2 to 3 hours, especially like strongman. You know what I mean? Like most of our training sessions last about 2.5 hours. That's if you're like just on your shit, not paying attention to nobody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after a workout, bro, like I don't want to eat something clean. I don't want to eat like white rice and fucking meat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want like a patty melt or some shit. You know what I mean? Like I need something. I need something
Sure.
greasy. You know?
High calorie kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
What are you eating that's guilty, man? What do you eat in the closet?
I don't know, bro. I eat whatever. Honestly, I can eat whatever.
You a sweets guy or no?
Sometimes, like if I'm in the mood, yeah. I typically try not to, bro, like that, because I can go off the wall with that shit. Like once I start, bro, it gets bad.
Do you start getting, and I know I do, but I would imagine, somebody like you're eating clean 75% of the time. Do sugars and sweets bring you down real quick and real hard?
Yeah. I'll get like I'll just get sleepy. Like I can feel like I said, I'll feel my body. Like if I eat well, I'm kind of lactose, but not too much. But if I eat like ice cream and shit like that.
How old are you?
32.
It's coming, man.
Yeah.
I used to love milk. Now I can't even smell it without.
I just drink that Mutopia or Fairlife. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I love milk, but I won't drink. Oh, okay. I've now seen that plane.
You see the plane?
Oh shit. Yeah. So it just but I don't know. There's just times, bro, where I'll be like, damn, I want something sweet, and I'll just get it, but it's kind of rare.
Yeah, it's interesting because earlier when you were talking about mobility and moving and staying active, and we talked about our dads and stuff. It's interesting because Tim's grandfather, Mr. Brown, I call him Badass Daddy-in-Law. He's 90.
Bro, he looks great every time I seen him.
He looks amazing. He's very. It's interesting because the things that you're saying are very similar to just the way he lives in general. He's constantly moving. He mows his yard even if he doesn't need to mow it. Takes the dogs for walks. This is every day. He's eating probably high protein things. He doesn't eat things with a lot of preservatives in them. He makes his own meals. Old school, right? He's buying ingredients. I know that's a word that people don't hear anymore, ingredients. And he'll fix something and he'll snack on it. And for 90, he's still got great vision. He's of course he's 90, but he still drives. He's still active. He still runs his own errands. And it's interesting to see how somebody it's you describing your activity and how you can't eat enough and how you're so busy and you go from early in the morning till late at night nonstop. It's like that's literally how he lives as well. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you see everything you're describing. I'm envisioning. I'm like, Mr. Brown does that. And that's what I see him doing. Those are the things that I see that he does. And he'll tell you, he's like, when I stop moving, I'm gonna die. He's like, and I'm not gonna stop moving. You know, and I think that's where people like me fail, and other people where it's like I said earlier. You know, we get mentally tired, we physically slow down. And it's like, we've got to learn to transition out of that, you know. I was talking to, I think it was Renee or somebody the other day, and, you know, it kind of got to the point where, and I told you, I'm mentally, I'm feeling better. Physically, I'm feeling better. I'm starting to make better food choices. Trying to stay more active. And it's funny because, like, a lot of that stuff happening, it starts to snowball, you know. And now I'm eating better lasts longer. You know, I don't put timelines for it. I don't go, hey, I'm going to spend the next 6 weeks doing X, Y, and Z. You know, I really try and convince myself this is what I do now. You know, it's not a diet. It's not a workout plan. It's a lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm gonna get up every hour at work, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna walk around the building, or I'm gonna do my squats, or I'm gonna do my prison workout. You know, and then slowly cutting like carbohydrates out. I'm a bread guy, man. I tell everybody, when we were kids, my parents fed a bunch of kids, you know, and to do that on the budget or lack of budget that we had, it was filler. You know, it was a lot of rice. It was a lot of bread. Yeah. Protein was expensive, so there wasn't a whole lot of protein. And like I said, there was probably 5 of us in the house, but I kid you not, there would be anywhere between another 5 to 10 kids coming over to eat dinner.
Yeah,
because that's just the way it was growing up. So it was a lot of pasta. It was a lot of noodles. It was just filler. So those are kind of like bad habits that I got into, because I'm like, oh, this is what I grew up eating. You know, a lot of Popeyes, a lot of potatoes. And so I'm slowly trying to cut that out. And this is stupid, man. I'm going to tell you stupid shit. But it's like revelations that happened to me here recently because I'm trying to do better. But it's like I've been diabetic forever, right? Yeah. And it's I catch myself, I get in trouble with my blood sugar because I'm trying to eat better. I'm trying to eat fewer carbohydrates and sugars and stuff like that. And so I find myself with super low blood sugar because I'm trying to adjust my medicine at the same time, you know. But I may have like the other night I got in huge trouble because I think I just had a chicken patty. H-E-B makes the best chicken fajitas, man. They're pre-marinated.
Yeah.
Eat shit out of that. It's delicious. Had it on a fork, ate it, went to sleep, and man, I ended up low in the morning. So I've got these little orange juice things that I'll get up and I'll drink. But you know, there are little adjustments that I've got to make. You know, not only with my eating, but how I take my medication, because I can end up in a fucking pickle. So
yeah. I don't know. It's just the whole diet thing is just, you know, I mean, shit. Even like with new clients and stuff, they always ask me, and that's the first thing I tell them. I'm like, bro, I'm not a nutritionist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell you more or less what to kind of stay away from. You know what I'm saying? And just see how your body adapts. But everybody's different. You know what I'm saying?
You guys got a bunch of meal prep folks that go to the gym,
bro,
right?
they're all over the damn place. Yeah.
Who's you were using one for a while, weren't you?
I think, bro, I've tried a lot. You know what I mean? It's real convenient. I'm just gonna say that. You know what I mean? If you're and if you can afford it, you know what I'm saying? Like I just was like, bro, I need to stop being lazy, you know, and just cook myself. But they are great for like being convenient as far as like everything you need and you know, and a meal right then and there ready to go. You just put it in the microwave. So and you know, if somebody doesn't know how to cook or doesn't know what to eat, bro, I feel like those are extremely helpful, you know what I mean? In the beginning, until you start to be like, all right, I can do this myself, you know, and then, you know, you kind of just get off them. But yeah, there's a ton of meal prep companies here.
Are you meal prepping on Sundays like everybody else?
I try to,
because for a while I saw you grilling.
Yeah, I'll go to Michelle.
I was like, man, I need to hang out with Ricky more.
Yeah, bro. We all everybody tries to just, you know, grill something, right?
Yeah.
But, I'm still learning.
What do you cook the best?
Fuck. I would say steaks.
Steaks?
Yeah, because those are usually the only thing I do grill. You know what I mean? Like
you
a New
bloody?
York strip.
Are you bloody?
Nah, not all the time. I like it like maybe like a medium rare. Just depends on if I'm gonna eat it right then and there, like a medium.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nina likes to burn the shit out of her meat. It's terrible, man.
That's what I end up doing every
Really?
time. Most of the time, bro.
Speaking of,
I'll take a picture of it before it gets burnt. You know what I mean?
you post that, but it's
and then you cut into it, and I'm like, ah, shit.
I just don't like when it looks purple in there. When it looks purple,
Yeah,
it's still not good.
I don't like
Mr.
that.
Brown's hilarious because we went to go eat steaks with him a couple years back, and he ordered it rare. And so Nina's like, Daddy, that's gross. And he's cutting into it. There's blood everywhere.
I can't do it.
And, well, he doesn't eat very much. So he tells us, he's like, I order it rare. So when I heat it up tomorrow.
Yeah, that is true, yeah.
It's medium.
That's facts,
And we're like,
yeah.
oh, man, he's smart.
Yeah. That is true.
And you were talking about that Netflix show. What was it called? Blue something.
Oh, fuck. What was, that Blue Zones. Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't know. It's like this guy, he travels to, all over the world. Basically, certain populations that have like the most like highest age living people. And he just goes and I think it's like Japan, some part of Cali, Italy. And he goes and he just basically interviews them and asks them, why do you feel like you're living so long? Because they're all in there like, 98, 99, some are 100. Yeah, still moving. And they kind of just go off of, kind of what we were talking about, bro. It's just a lifestyle, you know what I mean? But I'm sure in other countries, bro, the quality of life is a lot different than here. Everything here is go. You know what I mean?
It's go and convenience.
Mm-hmm.
So even like for there's fast food friggin' everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I don't know everybody in fucking planet, but our parents, we rarely ate out growing up, and now I think people eat out the majority of the time, or they DoorDash something.
Yeah.
And it's like that's all processed meat. Those are preservatives that you're eating, and that kind of contributes to I guess health issues that are kind of rampant,
So like one thing that they were talking about was just they get up every morning. Well, the people that live in Japan, what they sleep like on the floor type shit basically, and they eat on the floor. So just them getting up and down.
Oh, I see.
Every single day is basically doing like a squat. You know what I'm saying? But they're doing it every day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, getting up, getting down, tea, and that right there already elongates like longevity as far as your life.
Yeah. They're probably doing that 50 times a day.
Yeah, no, seriously. Gardening, they all have gardens. Some little village, bro, like they have like a small community. Let's just say if something breaks, everybody pitches in. So right then and there, bro, you're not already stressing about that shit. You know what I mean? Like, if a car breaks down, you're like, all right, damn, what the hell am I gonna do? And unless you have somebody that's like, oh hey, Gabe's car broke down. All right, well, let's all pitch in. All right, let's go. We're going to take it, boom, and then it's fixed, and then, your life keeps going. But their stress level is just a lot lower from what I understand.
Yeah.
And that's what your stress spikes something. I don't know too much about detail on that, but it spikes something it has to do with your heart, and that's why people have the, high blood pressure and all that. Yeah. Because of that stress level, bro, it's just a beast.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because there's so much technology, I guess, nowadays. It kind of helps us live an easier life.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we should have stopped being creative maybe a handful of years ago in some aspects, maybe not in the medical industry, but, when I was a kid, that's how I always tell everybody George just worked off of favors, and it's like everybody had a skill pretty much.
Yeah.
And you bartered, you helped people out, you took care of people, and it was a smaller community, and you knew each other, you knew each other's. I tell Nina all the time, this guy's mom put Band-Aids on my boo-boos, right? I was like, that's how we grew up, and then nowadays everybody's disconnected. I love working in New Braunfels. New Braunfels has a cool little feel to it. But it was interesting because I was leaving work the other day and I was at the light. And I saw these two guys are walking in towards each other, in the same direction toward each other. And I'm a people watcher, man. I love watching people. And so I wanted to see what they did to each other, whether they greeted each other. Was it a hello, a hand wave, or a head bob? and they never even said anything to you. They weren't even looking at devices. They were just walking, and they never even acknowledged each other. And it was like, I hate that we are getting to that point where we don't see each other as somebody who's worth even acknowledging. You know,
bro. People are weird, bro.
Strange to me.
I don't know. Yeah, people. It's just No, I get it, bro. Like, I don't know. I'll make it a habit sometimes just to make sure I say something.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all humans, so it's like, why wouldn't you say hi? Or, you know, it could just be you saying hi to somebody can make someone's day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just don't. You know. But yeah, like I said, I feel like we're so used to being separate now. It's just like now it's like you're the weird one for being nice.
Yeah.
Or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Now
you're right.
fuck, who was I telling? I was like, bro, I'm like, now at this point, bro, I was like, I feel like I'm the fucking weird one.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, bro, I'll say what's up to anybody, or, you know, I'm just being myself, you know what I'm saying? But there's times where like, yeah, you know, like you gotta really bring it out of somebody to even just get a hello or, you know, how's your day going or something.
I'm a weirdo, man. And our little cul-de-sac has changed. You know, we had some neighbors move, and then we got some really good neighbors that came in, and then we had some neighbors move, and now we have some weirdos. But the cool thing about it is they stick to themselves and they're quiet. So I'm like, if you're gonna be a fucking weirdo, at least
fuck that.
be quiet.
I want to know what they're doing.
Well, I as long as you don't come out your house, I'm cool. You know, and I don't smell any bodies.
Yeah, right.
And I don't see any people coming over, then we're good. So it's nice and quiet. But you know, it's I'm like I said, I'm a weirdo. So I've got a couple of neighbors that will not acknowledge anybody. Mm-hmm. And so I'll stand there and I'll wave as big as I can to them when they drive by, and they don't say anything, you know. But I do it every time, and Nina's like, "Why do you do that?" And I'm like, one day they're gonna wave back. Watch it. And they never. It's probably been 2 years, and they still ignore me. But you know, we were talking about it a little bit earlier. The last group of neighbors that we had when we had that snow, you know, that came in. I don't know, it was 2001 or something like that. It was so nice because, first of all, I love it. I love the snow because we don't get it that much. Not like that. I mean, it was a ton of fucking snow. But all of our neighbors were pitching in. Everybody was checking on each other. You know, Nina got into this. Everything's electric. We don't have gas. So Nina got into this, which is pretty rare, cooking habit. So every time we had power, which we had it most of the time, she would make meals. She would just start cooking food. And I try and stay, I'm a little bit of a prepper, man. So I try and keep things a little bit in excess for us. You know, I always tell her, when people like haul ass to HEB or they take off to go buy all the gas, I always tell her, just chill out. You know, I usually keep some gas at the house. Literally, I have some cans that every 6 months I swap them out, you know, so the gas doesn't go bad. But I'll keep some gas because this is my mentality. Is one day, if we ever got to get out of town, I just got to get to George West. Once I get to George West, I'm cool. Yeah. You know, we'll figure shit out there. But even with food and other things, you know, we'll keep it. So when the weather was coming, I was like, okay, it's just gonna be us. We'll be fine. You know. We've got tons of canned stuff in the pantry, you know. So if we need to, we can eat beans, right? We're not gonna die. Yeah. And so we cook meals. We take them to neighbors, and they bring stuff over to us. So it was nice that we had that little community, right? And then my brother ended up staying. I think his son stayed. Her cousin stayed. Before I knew it, we had fucking 5 or 6 people in the house when I thought it was just 2. And luckily we had enough. We had plenty, and it lasted a week or whatever it was. But we weren't any real issue. The hardest part was fucking. And I know you're gonna get pissed off because y'all were in some shit over on y'all side of town. But
when it snowed?
Yeah, but we lived next to the military base, so we never really lost power. And so I would tell people, hey, if you can get to the house, come to the house. We got food, and you know, I was gacho too, man, because I had the heat way up. And I had the front door open with just the screen glass, and I would stand there in my underwear and t-shirt and like, man, it's cold out there.
Oh, we were fucked.
Yo, were you at Michelle and Tibbs?
Yeah. When we had that power outage and when it snowed.
Yeah.
Bro, my apartment was done, so I went to my sister's. Their electricity went out. We had, you know, Timmy. Bro, we were just freezing in there. So then we started tearing down the fence.
Did they have both kids at the time?
I can't remember.
Or just,
I don't remember, honestly.
Maybe, okay.
Because Troy's 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So she may have not had him.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to ask her.
She may have been pregnant with him.
Yeah, but
That's
bro,
crazy.
we were sleeping on the floor. We had to tear down our neighbor's fence to burn it.
No
we were,
kidding?
Yeah. Like we didn't, bro. Shit hit the fan. We had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
How long were y'all uncomfortable for? How many days?
I would say maybe like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Really, cause that first day, bro, it was like late, so we were just like, all right, we're gonna make it through the first night. The second day was like the whole day. You know what I mean? Nothing was out. No food was like there was no food, nothing like that. And then that third, the following days when the shit kind of like started melting a little bit and people were kind of going back to their houses or wherever they were staying at. So it was like 3 days.
The next time y'all need to come to the house.
I know, yeah. Well, that's all we thought about. We're like, bro, if this shit happens again, bro, we need to hit up somebody that has, a doomsday prepper or something like that.
Have you gotten any better? Have you gotten ready? Because let me tell you something. That was, I think it was 2001. Now, I pay attention. I'm from the country, so I try and pay attention to shit. And I feel like that every other year we've had a really cold winter.
Yeah.
We had a shitty winter last year. It was hot the whole time. So I want to say things that I've read and things that I've kind of paid attention to. We're supposed to get really cold this winter too. So you gotta start planning, man. Yeah. This is what I do. This is how my mind works when it comes to stuff like that. I think that maybe I was a Boy Scout for 2 weeks, but we didn't learn shit there. But it's food, water, shelter, sex, and I take care of the sex by myself. But food, water, shelter, right? And so I went and bought. There is this website called Peak Fuel, and MMA fighter Gilbert Melendez. You remember him? He was a little, I think 125, 135 fighter, Mexicano. He fought when Uriah Faber was fighting and all those guys,
Okay.
Cub Swanson. Well, he's got a line with Peak Fuel they put out with his name on it, and it's like wild game food. Now, this stuff only lasts. It's only got a shelf life of 5 years. A lot of other stuff has a shelf life of like 25 years. But if it's gonna last 25 years, you probably don't want to eat it anyway.
Yeah.
But this stuff, you know what? Next time I see you, I'll have to bring you a pack. It's really good. It's portions for two, and I want to say there may be like $14 for a portion of two each pack.
Yeah.
But I keep those at the house, right? And then, of course, blankets and stuff. I try and keep propane, that way. I've got a little propane heater that, if we need to warm the house a little bit. But like just simple stuff like that. When we knew it was going to freeze, I filled up the bathtub with water. I put a towel in there and covered it up, filled it up with water so that we could flush the toilets. But then we had jugs of water, and I had a 5-gallon can that I filled. Because my big thing is water. I don't want to fucking have to boil water. I don't want to have to drink hot water. My thing is water. I can eat fucking cold beans for a week if I have to. But my biggest thing was water. So that's kind of what I do. That's like the minimum. But man, that's what we're doing.
Hell yeah.
Because that was having to tear your fence down sucks too.
For real.
But the fact that y'all did that, there are a lot of people that I know. I'm not gonna name names just in case they listen to this because they ended up at our house. But I will say this: a couple of Nina's cousins ended up coming with us, and my mind the whole time was like, "Fuck, we got more people than I expected. What do we need to do?" So the whole time I'm kind of thinking about, while keeping everybody cool, I'm thinking about, hey, what can we do to kind of fix things, or allocate certain amount of water and food, and what are we doing? Nina's cooking like crazy. What else do we have? And it was funny because Nina's in the kitchen. I'm sitting there thinking, and I just thinking about warmth because we kept losing power off and on. And I look over at them, and there's 3 of them sitting next to each other, and they're all on their cell phones.
For real.
I told Nina, I said, they look pretty fucking comfortable to me.
Yeah. Imagine without cell phones during that time.
Oh.
That would be even worse, I feel like.
Were y'all able to stay warm out in the house?
Yeah, when we had the fire going. But, I mean, it was still real minimum because we didn't have no firewood or nothing. You know what I mean? So, I honestly, bro, I forgot how we did it. I think we might have got maybe some from the neighbor or something. But bro, at one point we tore the neighbor's fence down first. Yeah. You know what I mean? Ask questions later.
That's hilarious.
Hey, let me take a piss real quick.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Yeah, like when I was talking with my client, that Claire, she even brought out like a little cup. I remember she, bro, it was probably like this size, and it was like, honestly, bro, it was just enough water like this. And I was like, hey, how many of those do you drink a day? She was like, well, I've had this for like 2 days now.
Whoa.
Yeah, real shit. I was like, the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I was like, what do you drink? And she, she was just like, well, I had, what'd she say? She's like, I had tea, some coffee, this and that. And I was just like, do you just forget to drink water? And she was like, yeah. So that's one thing that's like the main thing I talk to her every day about. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you have to drink water. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people really understand that. Like, you can go, just because you're drinking something doesn't mean it's, hydrating you. You know what I'm saying? It's probably making it worse. Yeah. Like, yeah. So, that's the only thing I really think about mainly. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think about eating, but the most part is just like, all right, I got to make sure I drink water at all times.
Who do you think you're learning the most from, or that you have learned the most from, whether it's fitness or dietary or just life in general? I mean, we talked about your dad earlier, but outside of your immediate family, is there somebody that you, whether you interact with personally or somebody that you, whether it's a podcast or whatever, what source do you think has had an influence on you?
I would say it just depends, really. Like, I learned a lot. Training-wise, I learned everything from Tim. You know what I mean? I'm around him every day. Yeah. Probably the most. He's probably the main guy I'm around. Like, I'm him. My sisters, but Austin. I just take little things from shit that I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm not really. I'm intense, bro, with a lot of things, but I gotta be passionate about it. Like, if I'm not passionate about it, like, I'll just don't really give a fuck. But like, if it's just, if I'm listening to a podcast and somebody mentions something, I'll rewind it and I'll listen again, and I'll be like, all right, well, shit, that makes sense, and and I'll do it myself. And if it works, then, bro, I'm all in. You know what I mean? And then I'm gonna tell somebody on it, and I'm like, this is what you have to do. You know what I mean? So, and it changes all the time. So it's like I could be a damn vegan one day, and then the next day I'm carnivore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really can be like that. Yeah. But I've tried both, honestly. So I think I went vegan for 2 weeks one time. It was like the worst 2 weeks of my life.
Dang, that 2 weeks is a long time.
Yeah, that shit sucked, bro.
What did you feel in your body? Like, as far as the change going? Were you fatigued or anything?
Fucking gay? No, no, I'm just kidding. No, I just felt, bro, I felt fatigued. I had a headache, bro. I had no energy. Like, I just felt my body deteriorating. But after that 2 weeks, bro, I felt like my stomach resetted, and I was able to kind of like do trial and error with food. Because I had like a stomach issue at one point because I was overeating.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. I was like, right now, bro, I weigh like probably like 185. But I was force feeding to get as big as I can. This was at the old gym. I was like 193. Oh, okay. And that was really hard, bro. Like, I'm talking like I was eating whatever as much as I can, like, to where my stomach was just done. Yeah. And I was working in Dallas at the time. And I just remember, bro, I was like, bro, I was on a regiment. You know what I'm saying? I'd wake up, eat shit, train, eat shit. Like, I was just like a machine. No matter what, whatever I was putting in, bro, use the restroom, go again. You know what I mean? Until one day I just was like, oh, damn, I'm not using the restroom at all, bro. My stomach was bad. It was bad, bro. So I was freaking out. You know what I mean? I was stressing out. I was freaking out. I was like, why can't I use the restroom? My stomach hurts. It don't matter what I was eating, bro. I was just.
How many days did you go?
It was like a week.
That long?
Yeah, because I couldn't figure it out. Like, I didn't know what was going on, bro. Like, literally, because I was on a regiment, bro. Like, I'm telling you, it was just like clockwork. I could eat whatever, and it was just, I'll use the restroom. Not even an hour later, I'm ready to eat again, And then, so I remember at the time I had insurance, so I would go to the medical center and talk to a doctor, and they were just like, oh, you're stressed out, or I don't know what they were telling me, bro.
But weeks are long for you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, ma'am, like, I'm trying to tell you, you know, you're not listening to me. Like, this is what I do every day. I'm like, I'm not shitting, ma'am. You know what I mean? So it was pissing me off because I was like, you know, I want to answer. So then she's like, you know, take a laxative and that'll clear you out, you know, this and that. So that didn't work. So then I went back and, you know, then she offered me to see like therapy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She was like, I remember that shit, bro. That shit pissed me off. It was, bro, I was so pissed off. She was like, you know, maybe we should try, you know, have you ever thought about getting, you know, seeing a therapist? And I was like, for what? Like, you know what I mean? Shit was crazy, bro. And then,
that's strange.
Yeah, because it was just like, she thought I was stressed out because of work. So, which is why,
gotcha.
And I was like, no, you know what I mean? That's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, so, so then, I just stopped going there and I just started doing my research. I went and saw a nutritionist. Some lady, bro, just had her own little store. Talked to her and
There in San Antonio?
Mm-hmm. I forgot what the place was. It was like off of Hebner.
Okay.
Like ducked off, and I walked in there, bro. Some sweet lady. Talked to her for like 10 minutes, and she just was like, she's like, you're just basically, she was like, you're, you know, like a machine. Let's just say like a machine, bro. You put things on, it's just supposed to keep flowing. Mm-hmm. So you're keep putting food in, and it's not flowing. It's not working. You know, you're not digesting correctly. So you need to give yourself a break. You know, a little bit more water soluble things, you know what I mean? And let's take gluten out your diet, because that's a big factor too, you know. So
have you still cut out gluten?
No, because bro, there's a lot of shit that has gluten in.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, but for that 2 weeks I did, bro. I really did. I had to. So she gave me just like a sheet to follow for 2 weeks, and she was basically, I was gluten free for 2 weeks, which is damn near almost, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of gluten's in a lot
bro,
of stuff.
Bro, you couldn't eat nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, bro, I went 2 weeks and I couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't even function because I was just so hungry. But I learned how to cook during that time because I had to make stuff myself. So after that 2 weeks, I just started. I was like, man, fuck this. Like, I just started incorporating stuff back into my diet. And certain things would agitate my stomach, so I wouldn't eat it. And there was a lot of fried food, a lot of like high cholesterol shit, bro. And so, but meat didn't bother me. Sweet potato, you know, just like whole food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regular food. So I just started doing trial and error, and my stomach got better. And I just now for sure, I can't eat a lot of like certain stuff like fried food or anything. It'll just make my stomach bloated really bad. So I think I just maybe overdid it, and then ever since then. But so,
you know, I had a similar. I think I end up getting constipated from dehydration, like we talked about, and it's usually, and what's weird is it hits me this time of year mostly, because I know that I sweat a lot. So in the summertime, I'm conscious of that, so I'm always drinking water. Well, in the fall, I'm not sweating nearly as bad, so I don't think about the water, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was last year, man. I was dehydrated. I started taking some pain medication for my lower back, and man, I hadn't gone for it was like the 4th day, and I started freaking out.
Yeah,
man.
that shit's scary.
Like it was at the point where I hate to do this on your podcast, but it got to the point where like it was painful to go to the restroom. And so I'm an idiot, man. I always go to extremes. So I ended up getting some of my neighbors, you know, good neighbors. They're going to HEB, you need anything? I said, you know what? Bring me some laxative. They're like, really? Because I'm always saying stupid shit to them. So they'll never believe me. So I'm like, yeah, bring me some. Nina's like, bring him some. So they brought me some, and I took it. I took it like at 2 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, nothing had happened. And I guess I needed more time, but for me, I just had a lot of anxiety about it because it was painful and nothing's happened. So I took another dose. By 10 o'clock, it was a wrap, man. I was free, right?
Yeah.
I got rid of it, but it would not stop. I had taken way too much laxative.
That's what happened to me. I took that laxative, and I didn't take enough. You know what I'm saying? So then I'm the same boat, bro. I was just there waiting, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And so the lady was like, oh, no, you need to take more. So then I took, you know, another dose. Yeah, it was like 4 a.m. I was like, bro, but I mean, bro, but that's what I'm saying. Like like I'm not a big dude at all, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like my body's not meant to, I'm doing enough to where I feel like I can perform good. So it's like, but bro, like Nick and Austin, bro, they can fucking eat.
Yeah.
So, and when you're around them, bro, it's like I'm trying to eat more. For real, like I remember I went to go eat with Austin one time. We went to go train. We were training for a competition, I think, but we stopped in I forgot what barbecue place, and that was the first time I seen that boy eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
pretty impressive.
Yeah, for sure. Like I was like, and I'm ordering shit to try to keep up with him. No, there's no way.
Let me ask you something, man, because in addition to the other things that I see, I feel like you're a fucking badass uncle.
Mm-hmm.
How good does it feel to be an uncle to the nieces and nephews that you have? Because I think a lot of people do a good job with children, but when I see you interacting with them, you give them your whole attention, and you spend time with them, and you can tell when somebody's doing good with a child by how happy the child is interacting with that person. Mm-hmm. And they love the shit out of you, man. So I love seeing that part of it. So, in addition to the intense training and the training of others and, taking care of your body, you still do an amazing job with those kids, man.
Thank you, yeah.
What is it that... It's easy to say, yeah, they're my nieces and nephews, but most everybody has nieces and nephews. And I don't see them giving even the little ones the time that you give them.
I don't know, bro. I just, I
You're
love
big
them.
family
Yeah,
guy.
I just love them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's just easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't, my job's not stressful, you know what I mean? But it is time consuming. It can be mental consuming too, you know what I mean? So sometimes when I see them, even if I'm having a bad day, which happens, when I see them, it just kind of like, I don't know, it just shuts off. I just give them
balances out your day.
I don't know, I just love my family. Yeah. I'm just grateful for the family I do have, so.
Because you're even inspiring the older ones, and I'm sure they're inspired by their parents and their other aunts and uncles,
mm-hmm.
But I like seeing, your older nephew, how he's getting more involved in the gym.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with you. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I'm sure it does Michelle and Tim as well, but
mm-hmm.
I think a lot of that has to do with you because you're living by example and the attention that you give them and the love that you give those guys. It's starting to affect their behavior and in a positive way, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the shit, man. I think that's what a lot of people leave out of their lives.
mm-hmm.
They focus on things. They want to be good at things, and other things sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right. And I love seeing the fact that there's still time for all that. And that's also a positive about heavy metal too. There's
mm-hmm.
a lot of kids there.
Oh yeah, every day.
And I think that's awesome that it's so you guys are available to everybody else's kids as well. But man, I think you're a hell of a Theo, man. You're a good uncle.
Thank
man.
you.
I dig watching that. In addition to everything else. So.
I think it's cool too that people see the kids there because it's just normal people. You know what I'm saying? People have kids. You still got to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you still have to. It's better than just saying like, all right, now there's definitely not an excuse, bro. At our gym, you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. If somebody comes in and they're trying to get a tour or some shit, and I tell them, we're not a typical commercial gym. We're a little bit smaller, more family oriented, this and that. But there's some people that are like, well, do you have a kids club? Or that might be the issue. Or I have nowhere to bring my kid or something.
Little daycare.
Yeah. But I mean, at least
we'll throw them in the yard.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you just make it happen. Like some of the people that inspire me the most are there's this girl. She comes in the morning. Her name's Tara. Her son. She's been working out every day, like at 6 a.m. Doesn't miss, since she's had her son in her stomach, and now that he's like 1 year. I think he's like 1 year old. But bro, she's on a damn schedule.
Yeah.
And it never stops. Like she comes in, she walks in, goes to the office, opens up the little playpen, puts it in the middle of the turf, throws her kid in there, and just works out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody just is so used to it. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, when you just kind of make it it's normal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kids are normal. You know.
I noticed you see a lot of other, I guess, folks that go to heavy metal. You see a lot of them interacting with the kids.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that plays a lot. I love the shit out of Tim and Michelle's boys.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that they interact with so many different people daily contributes to their personality.
Yeah.
And them being so social as they are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so being able to see other people interact with them positively, you know, you've got guys, again, Nick and Austin, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got those guys who are to the point where this is starting to become their livelihood, you know? And I think about me at work. When I'm at work, I get real fucking serious, right? Because if we don't do well and we don't produce well, we're not going to make money, and we could possibly lose our jobs, right?
Yeah.
So when I see folks that are competitive and this is their livelihood now, sometimes I think about how serious they must take it, because that's how I take my job, you know. But there's still time. I still see them interact with the kids. I still see them have a good time, and people are laughing, and the atmospheres are just different, man. It really is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, most of the kids there, I mean, everybody knows them. You know what I mean? Like, if you're walking by, he's usually, you know, there'll be a kid to the side sometimes, but you're just used to it, you know? Yeah. So I think everybody's adapted it well. I think that's what makes our gym even more, you know, great. It's just the fact of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have a pro strongman, and then you have a mom with her son. You know what I mean? Right next to each other, training in the same area.
And she's been going since she was pregnant.
Yeah, you know. Sometimes sharing the same sled or something, you know what I mean? So you don't get that anywhere else, bro, at all.
That's wild.
So
what are some future goals that you're working toward?
Damn, I don't know.
You mentioned about maybe getting into some
competitions. Yeah. So I was supposed to be competing this coming nationals, which I was fucking excited about. But I tweaked my back training maybe like 2 months ago, and bro, yeah, I need like at least 8 weeks to prep for a comp. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just was waiting, pushing it off to see if my body healed, and it just wasn't. So I tweaked my back pretty good on this one. So I talked with Tim, and bro, I just kind of was like, I mean, it's not meant to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do want to try to compete in some type of like combat sport.
That's cool.
For sure. Yeah, that's one thing that is one goal of mine. Like, I want to be the first guy from our gym, because we don't have we have a lot of combat guys that compete in combat sports that come from other places, and they'll, you know, train at our gym. But I want to be the first one from our gym. You know what I mean? To do it, just to do it one time.
You mentioned you box some. Would it be boxing or MMA type?
I don't know. I've tried it all. You know what I'm saying? I like to do it all. But if I was gonna do it, probably MMA. I think that interests me a lot more.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And luckily, bro, I've helped a lot of guys that train in all those sports. So it's nothing but just, you know, hey, bro, can I come by your gym? And they'll teach me, you know, things like that. So that's what I like about it too. Is just, you know, everybody's kind of being in the fitness industry. You're already tied into a certain, you know, either boxing or MMA, or there's some guys that used to train that go to that do Muay Thai. Fucking badass dudes, bro.
Really?
And yeah, and it ain't nothing but hey, bro, you know, can you teach me some things? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the community for that too is always there.
Do you have a timeline for something like that?
I mean, I'm 32. I feel like, bro, I feel great. I'm in the best shape of my life. So maybe within the next year. It just depends on how long it takes. You know what I mean? But I want to commit to something like that. I love strength training, bro. Like, I'm never gonna stop loving that. But I've just done it so long. Like, even like strongman, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's fun, but I'm not in love with it. So it's like
some new challenges.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to do it, you know, but I don't like. I know it for Nick and Austin, bro. Like, that's something that makes them, you know. Yeah. They love it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I just don't love it. Yeah. But I love to train. I like to train, and some, you know, I like to switch it up, and sometimes I do strongman stuff, and I like to compete. I love to compete, so it don't matter what it is.
Yeah.
But if I'm competing in something, then I love it, you know.
Well, I'd imagine somebody like you also, where you're in extremely good shape, to change gears and go into a competitive combat sport. It would be more of a learning deal as opposed to a getting into shape and learning kind of thing. You've mastered one portion of that, right? You're in a top performance shape. It's just a matter of learning the tools and how to apply those. So I would imagine that'd be a transition that would be it would be difficult, but at the same time, you know, you're already geared. You've already got the tools physically to do those things. It's just a matter of learning them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a whole different world. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, somebody coming in for strength and conditioning, bro, I feel confident I can train anybody. It don't matter who you are. You know what I mean? But going on to the other side of things, like that's something I'm even more excited is to just learn, you know, and be, you know, not being familiarized with things, you know what I'm saying, like I am here, you know. So, but yeah, and shape wise, I feel I'm definitely confident in that. But you still got to learn how to like protect yourself, and you're gonna get hit.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about getting punched in the face, or even punching in the face?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know, bro. To me, it's just fun. I think it's, you know, I think to me that, how can I say it? Like, I feel like, bro, you don't feel alive unless you're fucking fight or flight, you know? And to me, that's what the most exciting thing about training and competing, bro. There's like specific times, bro, where it's like a fight or flight scenario, and that's the shit that I fucking love, like, because it's, bro, you don't know what your body's capable of unless you do it, you know what I'm saying? But if you feel like, you know, like even like a max deadlift, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's probably more mental than anything. You know, I've trained a lot, but there's times where I'm like, fuck, you know, I don't think I can do this weight. And I'm thinking about it for a whole month. You know what I mean? And then there's that one time where it lasts maybe 10 seconds and you do it and you're like, that 10 seconds, bro, how you feel in that time where like kind of everything shuts off, bro, that's a badass feeling, you know? So, you know, like, obviously I'm not a big deadlifter, but, you know, there's been times, it can be anything, you know what I mean? Even like a cardio, some type of cardio exercise where you're so gassed, like you can't even stand up, you know what I mean? Yeah. But you just feel good doing it, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's where a lot of us fall short or lack in our I guess growth, right? Because we all go through those anxious times where we have anxiety and we doubt ourselves, you know. But if we don't put ourselves in a position to
be outside your comfort zone,
our comfort zone, to be able to apply what we've learned and have an opportunity to fail or succeed, we keep ourselves out of that area. You know, we're always just stuck with the anxiety. We never get past that because we never put ourselves in a position to potentially be successful, you know, physically. You know, so we end up keeping that anxiety. I'm guilty of, man. You know me. How long I've been trying to go to the gym? Forever. You know, I always end up in this weird, for me, like when I'm there, I enjoy it. I feel good.
Bro, every time I see you there, that's why I'm like,
I have this fucking,
that should be making me mad. I'm not going to lie. I tell Tim all the time. I'm like, bro, why doesn't he just come in? Like I've told him so many times, Gabe, like, you could call me and be like, Rich, I want to come in and bro, I'll meet you there. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But I get it. But
I get this, it's, you know, I told Nina, I was like, I get this weird anxious feeling, right? And this is going to sound super stupid, right? And it's not an excuse because even though it sounds like an excuse, but part of me wanting to start this new thing is because I want to have a flexible schedule. I told Nina, I said, my biggest problem is I'm a great big fat dude, right? Mentally, when I go most places, I always feel like I'm in the way, right? Heavy metal is a type of place where people are working out extremely close. I told Nina, I said, when I go there, even when I'm there, excuse me. I told her, I said, I can't get over the fact that there's people everywhere, you know, and mentally, I have this weird thing that I feel like I'm in somebody's way, even though nobody's ever made me feel that way. Nobody's ever said anything. Nobody's ever insinuated anything. Me, I go to the grocery store. I feel that
About
way.
to say, what about like when you go somewhere else? Like
Everywhere. If I go to the grocery store, yesterday we went to a football game. You know, we everybody I knew sit in the middle. I'm gonna go sit on the end, man, because I gotta be where I get this anxious feeling when I'm around too many people.
Yeah.
And even like if we went to a bar and that was kind of cool. There wasn't a whole lot of people. Nina loves social shit.
Yeah.
She loves being in the, we call it in the wato. She likes being in the middle of everything. I'm the guy that's got to stand way the fuck over there. And I get this weird anxious thing, and that's why, like, for me, I've kind of gone, okay, until I have that freedom and schedule, or maybe I can go at 11 or 1 or 2 or something like that. That's when I started saying, okay, I need to bring, man, I've bought I think it's a 2-inch battle rope, which I use. I've got a bunch of kettlebells, and I started taking stuff to work because I'm like, I gotta do something. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna have this mental block with being in a social setting like that in general, like I said, it even happens at the grocery store. I said, if I'm gonna have that mental block, I still have to physically be doing something. It's to the point where I was like, okay, before my mind, I was always, when I can get past the mental block, I'm gonna start doing X, Y, and Z. And so now I've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, you're not there yet, but you still need to start doing fucking X, Y, and Z. You're 46 and fat, right? It's like you've got to get your health straighter. So even though I'm still dealing with the mental blocking issue, I'm starting to implement the other things that I needed to implement a long time ago. So eventually, who knows? Maybe I'll fucking get past that shit. And there's times where I'm like, you want to hear something funny? I'm going to tell you something fucked up. I had started going back a few weeks ago before my back started getting tweaked. I found that I went at 8. There's fewer people, right? I guess the big rush was like 5 o'clock or something. Yeah. Which was what time I was trying to get there, and I was like, man, it's a lot of fucking people here. So I'd go at 8. I think I even went at 9 a couple of times. There was a real nice white girl. Forget her name. She was taller than me. I forget her name, but she was real cool. So that was working. But the first 2 times that I went, I drove through the parking lot and went to the house. I told Nina, there's too many fucking people there. Second time I went, I sat in the parking lot 15 minutes, and I was like, too many people. I fucking went to that. Third time I went, I ended up going inside. Right, there was fewer people that day. I don't know, it was maybe a Thursday or something. But it's like I got this crazy fucking mental block. I even printed out a patch that I keep in my truck up here. And it says, "Don't be a pussy." I need that reminder every day.
For real.
Because for me, it's mental. Like when I'm there, I enjoy it. My body enjoys it.
You seem like you do great. Every time I've seen you in there, you're doing great. That's what I don't understand.
I told Nina, I'm like, man, I feel so good. Like physically, I feel great. Yeah. Mentally, I'm happier. I'm like, everything's awesome. But it's that fucking, like you said, getting into the door. Just get in the door. That's where my biggest mental block happens. Yeah. But like I said, it's not just the gym. It's things in general. We even had a conversation about it last night. Nina's like, why don't we go in the middle? And I'm like, we not to be ugly, but we sat with the band family. Yeah. On the edge. Oh shit. but that's me in a nutshell.
Nah, you can't be like that, man.
But I've been like that since I was a kid too.
I mean, I guess. So, like, a good example, I understand what you feel like, So, like, I was already prepping for nationals, bro. That was the only thing that was on my mind. But we also have that competition for us, the Metal Mayhem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, this time around, bro, I have, like, 9 people that I'm helping, like, coaching, basically, to compete. And I was telling Tim, bro, I was like, bro, honestly, I'm not saying that the injury was a blessing in disguise, right? But, so, I still had to do a lot of shit. Prep for the comp, then help prep all my guys for the competition. Buy flights for the Pennsylvania, like all this shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So right? Yeah. Also, I've been having to get my my teacher's retirement and my Roth IRA and all that stuff. I've been pushing it to the side, bro, because I get like how you get, but with getting on the computer and shit like that, like I just can't do it, bro. I can't sit still. It's nuts. So that's the one thing that gives me anxiety, bro, is because I'm just not into it. Like I can't sit there and get on online and create an account and transfer money and call because something, bro, like I'm just tapped out within the first 15 minutes. Bro, usually I have enough just to create a profile. And then I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know what I mean? And like, so I was telling Tim, I was like, bro, thankfully there's this dude named Jerome. He's been helping out Tim with like, I think with their taxes or something. But Tim's been training him for years. He's a great dude. And then I trained his son for a little bit. But I was talking to him about it, and he was like, well, shit, on Monday, you free? He's like, let's meet at Starbucks. And so we met, and bro, he sat me there, and he made me do everything. We were there for like 2 hours. And I, did all my stuff for getting my shit situated, like for retirement and all that stuff. Something that I would never do, bro, on my own. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, I get what you're saying. Like, things that I don't want to do, bro, it's, I can wake up any day, bro, and go to the gym, train people all day, bro, be active, whatever. But what if it comes down to me, like, all right, I need to sit down and do something as far as, on the computer or just something that's keeping me still. Yeah. Bro, it's hard for me to do it. You know what I mean? And to me, that's what gets me like really like, not really anxious, but just, I have a lot of energy. Yeah. I have a lot, bro. So it's like, if it's not being worked, mentally stimulated for a little bit, yeah. But then I'm like, all right, bro, I got to get the hell out of here before I lose my damn mind.
Yeah. I get it. For real. It's real similar. Like, it's just it's like this threshold that you get to, and it's like,
that's what it is, threshold.
This, know? And it's so funny because when you cross it, it's not that fucking big a deal, But in my mind, I've built it up, especially like for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna change clothes, and you're thinking about it. You're thinking, you drive over there, you make the drive, you get there, and it's funny because there's times where I'll go, even like if Nita wants to go somewhere, like a concert, right? If she wants to go to a concert, she wants to go something like that, it's like, I always tell her, you're never going to call me and say, hey, I got tickets for a show and it's in an hour, let's go, and I'm going to go. That's never going to fucking happen. Yeah. I'm like, but if you want to go to a concert or you want to go to something, give me time. Because I get real fucking weird in the head, and I'm like, I got to just digest it. And it's funny because, like, probably need to see a therapist, but but it's funny because it's kind of like I build this in mentally. I start even with heavy metal. I build this. It's like I start low and then I start building this anxiety and this stress, and I start thinking of all the negative things, right? Mm-hmm. Man, what if I'm in somebody's way? What if I'm doing X, Y, and Z? Yeah. What if
you're just like making it worse?
I start making it worse, and it gets to the point where it's so bad. This is not a cool fight or flight, but it's a similar thing where it's like I'm either gonna bounce or I hit this thing and I say, don't be a pussy, and I go in. Yeah. And then once I get in there,
you're like, isn't, bro,
it's like, yeah. I know, it's funny because like Tim's like, dude, a lot of people there, and it's like I get there and I'm like, yeah, I do. I say hi to folks.
Bro, everybody knows you, so it's not like
it's definitely me. Like I said, I've never, and I mean even when I see the types of people that go to heavy metal, I tell everybody it runs the fucking gamut. It's everybody. It's older folks. It's people who are trying to get into shape. It's athletes.
There's people that come that don't even work out. Yeah. as crazy as it sounds, right? I mean, yeah, like there's they just like being there, you know what I mean? So it's not even it's not even a place to, where people judge or I'm saying?
No, not at all.
Unless you're like one of the boys, then yeah, we're gonna talk shit. But like,
well, I mean that's natural, right?
If
you're my friend, we're gonna hack on each other. Otherwise, there's a problem.
Yeah, you got to get off your ass for sure. But I mean, like, bro, that's another thing too that I'm I'm thankful for is just that constant accountability. You know what I'm saying? That we all have, like, you can come in feeling, sluggish. There's days, bro, where I come in, I'm like, fuck, I don't even want to work out. And then, somebody comes in and it can be one of my boys or, somebody, and they're going to say something, bro, or challenge me or, something. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Yeah. And then sure enough, bro, I'll have one of the best workouts ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I'm thankful for. Like, it's not always just like, I'm pushing people, bro. There's days where I'm like, all right, bro, shit, you're going to have to lead the way today. Like, I don't feel like doing nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let's do what do you got today, bro? I'm going to do whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? That's the time where I need someone to take the wheel type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, it's natural to be like that. You know what I mean? But it's those days that are like where you get through it, you know, they're usually the best workouts you had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the ones that you don't want to do. So, and it benefits you even more. You know what I mean? And then, like you said, that threshold, bro, is like, it pushes a little further now. Now you don't tap out so easily.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I feel like that's really what you know, I guess what training is about. As far as me training people, bro, like, there's days where I can tell when someone's having an off day. You know what I mean? I'm around them so many times, like, I know their personality. So if someone's having an off day, to me, that's like, okay, well, I want to minimize the talking and just have them go through shit where they don't even have time to think themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And get them in and out. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day, when I see them again, they're in a great mood. And, you know, it's just, you just got to read people. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I guess that's a big part of my job, too. It's not just about giving them a workout. Like, I got to read them, their body language, and, you know, what type of mood they're in, you know? I don't want to push them on something where they're mentally drained, you know what I'm saying? Because that takes a lot of mental, like, focus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to, like, there's some days where I have something ready for them, and I'm like, oh, shit. And I have to change it, you know what I mean? Because you have to adjust to people.
That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this: where can people find you if they wanna hire you to train them, or what's your social media and all that good stuff?
I mean, they can go to Heavy Metal Fitness page when they have all the list of all the trainers, or they can come to my page, which is Richard Alexander 3_3. So.
And that's an Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, brother.
Hell yeah.
Man, well, you got anything else you want to share?
No, man. I just appreciate it, Uncle Gabe, for having me come out here.
I appreciate you coming out, man. When we talked the other day and you said you were interested, I was pumped up, man. Like I said, I like the shit out of you. I think you do some really innovative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You are an intense guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a competitor's heart. And you're a badass fucking uncle, man.
Thank you, yeah.
I appreciate you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming out.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Gabe Molina Podcast.